Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Jocelyn Lovely, so good to see you here. I love you all, my beautiful Virgos. This reading is for you. If you resonate with the reading, like, share, and subscribe. If you touch base with this reading and you're not a Virgo, it doesn't matter. This reading's for you. If you guys want personal readings or to donate, click on the link down below. Okay, so we're starting here with great energy. You have the Two of Cups. It almost seems to me like the heart and then the mind being activated. So it looks to me like you're really tending to both areas of yourself, really watering and giving life into both of these energies, and you're activating them both. So it looks to me like you're really focusing on resonating with your heart and your mind's needs and what that really looks like to you. Right? Followed by the Seven of Pentacles. The only beautiful thing about this pentacle is that it's being activated. Seems to me like you've been putting a lot of work. You laid a lot of groundwork into this specific pentacle. So you're really looking into what you've been really sowing, right? What your desires are. And it seems to me like because you've been focusing a lot on what your mind and your heart needs, all of a sudden you're getting this very beautiful, fiery activation into these all of the things you've invested in. It's no longer you thinking, am I gonna reap what I sow? You're not even in that state of consciousness anymore. You're way beyond that. You're onto the Eight of Pentacles, right? You're activating this. This seems more to me like you're getting a lot of passion and desire to even plant more. Right? To you, you're not even focused on what you've been doing. You're like, look, I got that in the bag. Yeah, that's being activated. That's working on its own. I have faith and trust that that's gonna come when it does, right? You're focused on the Eight of Pentacles. Look at this. This is you looking at this new pentacle, and it almost seems like a portal too, right? It looks to me like you're really looking at this intently and thinking, okay, I'm already working on this other thing. What's next? My desires, my wand energy, it almost seems like it's being activated into this fiery wand energy. You're activating both, right? The pentacle and the earth and fire. You're setting fire to everything you're wanting to sow, right? It's like you're looking at this and you're like, okay, what do I deeply desire? What is the outcome that I want out of this specific place? And if I put my energy and attention to this specific thing, whether it's work, projects, whatever it is, love interest, whatever it is that you see as a possible investment, something that you see for yourself that you want to adapt this and create it into your own future, you're looking at it and saying, okay, what do I have to do? What blueprints do I have to lay out on the side to make sure this becomes a part of my reality here? Right? Again, Six of Wands, right? Moving out of this old way of doing things, maybe, right? Because you're reaping. Eventually, you're gonna reap what you've sown in the past, right? But now this time, you're coming at it with even more intent, right? You're really thinking about, what am I gonna do here, right? What can I do to make this happen? And what tools do I have at my disposal to make it happen, right? And it's also like you're moving away from this old way of being and really adapting all tools that you have, and even the new tools that you've gained, right? There's new tools that you gain every season. I'm like, what can I do, right? What have I done in the past that didn't work that now I have more consciousness and awareness of, that I can adapt to this new idea, right? This new way of being, this new consciousness, right? Look at this beautiful energy, right? And it's not only were you using the pentacle, you're using fire, and now you're using air energy, right? You're really using all of your tools at your disposal, like the magician. This is you as a star looking at your past, right? Looking at all the things that went wrong in this karmic cycle. What did you learn in the last cycle? What did you learn not to do? What did work in this last cycle? What are you taking with you, right? What life lessons taught you that are going to help you in this new journey, this new cycle, right? Or this new, adaptation. It's like, what steps can I do to make this different from what last cycle was, right? And you're sitting here looking at the residue of everything that happened to you. And again, you're sitting here in water. It's no coincidence. You're really healing from all of the things that happened in the past, and even using water energy, right? Using your heart. What in this past cycle helped me with my heart activation, right? My intuitive activation. It almost seems like this last cycle, whatever lessons you learned there really helped you enhance your psychic abilities as well. So psychically, what did I learn in this last cycle that's going to help me move forward in the new one? What intuitive messages have I received, right? What am I receiving now, right? Spending time with yourself, really getting to know what makes you stronger, what are your weaknesses, what are your strengths, right? Really getting to the nitty gritty. Again, looking at yourself in this new portal, standing in front of it, your guides are right there, like waiting for you to touch this new way of consciousness, right? It almost seems to me like when you do meditate or you do get into this state of mind, what are you taking with you? What messages are being downloaded with you to help you in this new pursuit that you're going towards, right? What truths am I showing up with today? What truths am I able to communicate effectively about this last cycle that helped me move forward in this new one? What way am I showing up with honesty and integrity, right? Like how am I showing up with honesty and integrity in this new cycle, in this new blueprint? How am I going to adapt my truths and my desires into this new blueprint, right? I don't know if I'm making sense. I hope I am. Man, you've done a lot of soul searching here. It seems to me like you've done a lot of learning. And because of it, because of this last cycle, I think you're like intuitively being enhanced. So now it's like you have clear cut communication with source. It almost seems like because of it, you have more communication with your heart's desires. You have clear, concise communication with what you want this time. Maybe last time you wanted the same thing, but you didn't have the exact, it's like you didn't have your heart, or you were only operating out of 50% out of your heart. It wasn't 100% there. Or maybe you didn't have as much passion, right? You were only operating out of like 25% out of passion. It seemed to me like you didn't have any passion in this last cycle. Now you do. I mean, real passion, not for others, passion for yourself. It's like whatever tools, the wand, the heart, the pentacle, right, the water, the cup, the pentacle, whatever you were using in that last cycle that you were using it on others. It's like this time you're focusing all of those tools on yourself, which is why now when you do manifest, it's going to be at a faster rate. Whatever you do work on, it's going to come back to you faster because it's clearly all that energy that you were putting on everywhere else. It's 100% on you. So because you're manifesting, like I said, at 100% rate, everything's going to come back to you even faster. So even with the Seven of Pentacles, the one that I was talking about earlier, you're like, okay, I understand this is going to sow, I'm going to reap what I sow eventually. When it does come, it doesn't even matter. This was what I was sowing at the time was at like 50%. Like I said, this time I'm sowing at 100. So whenever this comes, that's fine. But right now, I'm more focused on getting back returns on what I'm putting efforts into now. And you are. That's the funny thing is, I don't know if you're seeing it, but you're going to start seeing that return back a million times quicker than you were with that other Seven of Pentacles. Whatever other projects you were invested in before, you're not going to, I could see you receiving both of those harvests, but not, but this one's going to come back quicker than the one you invested in prior. That's what I'm saying. Okay, sorry, a couple cards fell. I got Judgment, right? Judgment. Again, I'm getting, it feels more to me like intention than judgment, right? Because it's like focusing right here on everything at your disposal. You're really focusing on getting back something that you know is yours. It's almost like if you saw your future in front of you and you said, okay, this is what I want, it's mine. But it's not like something, see, some people when they manifest, they think, oh, this is going to be mine in the future. I'm talking to somebody who sat there and said, this is mine now. Why isn't this mine now? This should have been mine, right? And so you're sitting there with that intention. You're like, this is mine now. So when you start thinking of it every single day, like this is mine now, it's mine now, you're going to get that back so quick. It's not even funny. It's funny because down here too, the same thing. It's like you're growing. This is like something from the past that's growing, right? And you're mostly focused on this. While this is already manifesting, right? You're focused on this. This is the funny part. It's like maybe you You wanted this to happen, but you had doubts. Going from this to this type of activation, it's like you're gonna get both returns regardless. But it's just so funny to me how it's like you notice the difference between when you were giving it the 25 to 100%. You notice the difference right away. It almost seems to me like maybe you were short, like you were not doubt, but like you were short selling, or you sold yourself short. Is that how people say it? Yeah, you sold yourself short. And it's like you're not doing that anymore. No wonder. Maybe you just weren't putting enough focus onto your other projects at the time because you were more focused on somebody else's projects, which had nothing to do with you. See, that's the thing. Sometimes what you don't realize is being selfish will pay off faster than investing on everybody else. See, that's the lesson you probably had to learn compared to other people, right? Maybe you were too focused on somebody else winning and these motherfuckers weren't even giving it 100. How the fuck can you convince somebody to do something for themselves and they don't even want to? While meanwhile over here, you're letting all your talents go to waste because you're not even giving it 100% until now. So anybody out there putting in that work, really focusing, thinking like, it's kind of like reflection, right? Have I been focusing on me this whole time, or have I been focusing on somebody else? Really kind of, I'm getting somebody in regret a little bit. Somebody regretting spending too much time on everybody else but themselves. I feel that one. Whoever's in that regret, I feel you. I've been there. I've been there. I gave myself to so many others, so many people, hoping that they would actually gain something from this experience, and they didn't. And you know what's funny? You actually gained something from this experience. I gained something from this experience to tell me that nobody else can save you. You can't save anybody else, and nobody else could save you, right? So now that you understand that, it's like judgment's being called, right? You made a choice to serve yourself and yourself only this time around. And I mean in a selfish way. Yes, selfish is a good thing, actually. When you do it all the time and you're fucking people over, no. I'm talking about the right selfish, right? When you choose yourself above everybody else to proceed and gain your own passions, right? When you're selfish enough to tell everybody, no, sorry, I don't have time, I have to focus on my business. Sorry, I don't have time, I have to focus on my relationship. Sorry, I don't have time, I have to focus on this promotion. Whatever it is. Sorry, I don't have time, I have to focus on me and healing and my therapy, or whatever it is that you're doing. Because you're focused on that in the selfish and the right state of mind, judgment was being called. You made a choice to choose yourself, and that told source, that told the universe she wants this. So guess what? We're gonna return. We're gonna give her what she wants in return because she put pure intent and focus on this. I can see you profiting in a year. Really profiting, really, really getting your returns worth. I can see you really gaining back faster than you ever thought. Yeah, and in turn, it gets you into this new state of being, into this new portal activation that I think you underestimated. I don't think you understood how much power you had until you put 100% focus on these investments. You'd be surprised. You get the Nine of Swords in reverse, honey. Look at this. You're no longer in this state of being. You're no longer crying. You're no longer victimized, right? It's like you took your power back. You're like, fuck this. I'm taking my power back. I'm going to do what I can. I know that with Source next to me in this mutual partnership, I'm going to go long ways. But you alone, the drive alone that you have, it's crazy. It's crazy. All right, any other advice for my beautiful Virgos? Anything else that they need to know? Why are these in reverse? Hold on, my cards. I had them in reverse. You're gonna be like, why are my cards in reverse? Look at this. Four of Pentacles, Four of Cups. But what I'm getting mostly here is like you look really get into the nitty gritty. It's like your vessels inside, they got activated. It's like you see this cup for what it is, and you're really nourishing it. You're starting with the roots. It's like you put seeds in there, right? And they're sprouting already. You put seeds in like yesterday, bro. You put seeds in yesterday, and they're activating, they're becoming, and they're going to become fruitful in about a couple of months. You'll be surprised. You'll see this in like you'll start seeing it. This is what like I don't think you see, right? Because I think that last time that you went in and invested, it took so long. You never saw you never saw the outcome. You never saw the outcome, right? But this time it's like you're gonna see it, and you're like, damn, This is what happens when I put 100% focus on everything that I want. Sorry, I have the Hermit here, right? Really focusing on the inner, right? So that it reflects outward. Look what you're going towards. You're going towards the Ten of Pentacles. This is what you want. You see it and you want it, and that's what you're going for, right? Earlier it was like this, you saw this pentacle, right? With the 7 and the King, that was the 8 of Pentacles. You saw this pentacle, and look, you're like, fuck the 9, I want the 10. Fuck the 9, you want the 10. Look at this. Beautiful. I see you too. Like, it's like, look, going from this down here to this, like building this. You made it happen. You and you alone with your desire, this fire under your ass, really pushing you forward to move, to get going. It's like funny because like you're such a freaking strong master builder. That's what gets me. You're such a master builder. You know how to create, you know how to manifest at a million. Which is why every time you were around people, you ever notice that when you came into their lives, they might not admit it, but when you came into their lives just skyrocketed. When you came in, you were the one that would like guide them and tell them what they had to do, and they wouldn't even admit it to anybody else, but you knew this whole time. You'd be the one to activate them. Every time people saw you, they knew you were the gold gem. That's why they brought you around other people, right? To show you off, because they knew, everybody knew you were the gold gem. They just couldn't admit it to you because they knew, hey, like maybe just the way that you look, right? Just the way that you were. They didn't want to admit it. Maybe you were around some snooty ass, snobby ass people who thought they were better than you because you were, you're different. You're different than others. You're not like them, right? You're very intuitive, you're very psychic, people will call it weird, right? They'll be like, why would we listen to you, right? You could have been around people like that who were established, had money, had this, had that, right? And you showed up and it's like, I do things differently. This is how I do things and this is why I'm successful. You never told them that, but they could see it. You would tell them the truth though. Hey, this is how it is. You want to manifest, you want to look at a different type of consciousness, this is what you got to do, right? You never had to tell them, but they knew when they saw you, right? And all the people that try to show you off, right? To tell them, hey, I got this person around me because, I'm the shit, right? I'm bringing her along, I'm bringing him along. Meanwhile, everybody knew they weren't shit without you, right? Without me, without you, without us. And what's funny is I see these people like their life skyrocketed a little bit, but it was always at a glass ceiling. They could never pass this glass ceiling because they didn't think they were worthy. Meanwhile, you were over here investing, giving them water, giving them fire, desire, giving them, giving them earth, right? Giving them the plants, the seeds to how to cultivate for themselves. And talking to them, giving them knowledgeable truth. And they still couldn't do shit with it because they didn't want to. All this energy you spent on everybody else but yourself, and it's funny how you were a master builder. You helped these people build, but they just couldn't pass the threshold because it was them. Meanwhile, this whole time you could have been focusing on you these last 2 years and could have made even more. Could have manifested, could have harvested even more, but it's okay. You learned that lesson. It was a lesson worth learning because now at your age you can push, and in 2-3 years you're gonna have something you never had before. And all these people who fucked you over, they're gonna be looking like, damn. That's the thing. People secretly always knew that you were going to make it. They just begged and wished and prayed that you never did. They begged and wished and prayed that you never knew that you were worthy of more, to push along, get away, and do your own thing on your own. They pray and wish secretly. They don't tell you. They pray and wish that you don't make it. But you will. They know you will. They always wish. They always knew. I think everybody knew you were going to make it. I just think it was you that didn't think you could do it on your own. But you can. And you're going to show them. And you're going to show yourself. Because there's a part of you that probably thinks maybe you thought you couldn't. Right? Like I said, maybe you need people. Or you thought you needed people, but you don't anymore. So congratulations, Virgo. You are the shit. I love you.